Tonight's true scary story is wild, you guys. So it's scary. So protect yourself before and after the video, like always. And if you like my content, if you appreciate it, it would really help if you hit that like button, but only if you appreciate my content. And also hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when I tell more true scary stories. So tonight's submitter's name is Joy, and Joy lived in a small town in central Alabama. The year was 2005. She was 19 years old and pregnant at the time. This happened in February of that year. She was with her ex, we'll call him R, and they're two good friends, and they were at Joy's house. This particular night, her ex wasn't feeling well, so the four of them took him to the emergency room, and then afterwards took him to a pharmacy to get the medication that he needed. This was in the next town over. It was very late, so it was kind of hard to find a pharmacy that was actually open. Once they had his medication though, their guy friend, we'll call him Jay, who was driving, decided to just drive until the CD that they were listening to just finished. They ended up in Georgia, and then decided to go back to Joy's house at that point. Although once they were almost back to Joy's house, their guy friend decided that they wanted to stop at their house and get a notebook out of his wife and his bedroom so that they could go on a little adventure. He wanted to go to a haunted church and cemetery that was about 20 minutes from their house. Both his wife, we'll call her Dee, and Joy told him that they were tired and they wanted to go to sleep. They did not want to go. But Jay was finally able to convince the three of them to ride with him to go to this church. There were many stories about this church being haunted, and she knew a bunch of people who had experienced things at this church. Joy had never been to this church before, so she was already weary. It was about 2 a.m. by the time they got to the church, and Dee and Joy decided that they wanted to stay in the car while their exes walked into the cemetery. Dee and Joy were talking while their exes went to the tombstone to write something in a notebook. This particular tombstone was a tombstone of a Confederate soldier, possibly a general. Once they were done in the cemetery, they began to walk down towards the church. Joy began to watch the woods around her closer because she was beginning to feel uneasy. Dee was doing the same, but then she started acting a little strange. She stopped talking and she was just staring at the front of the car. That's when Joy asks her, "Hey, what is wrong?" And she responds with, "There's something running around the car really fast." Joy's like, "I can't see anything." And she responds with, "You wouldn't be able to. You can't see spirits like I can." Joy had no idea that Dee could see spirits like this. Joy could feel energies and could kind of feel spirits, but she couldn't see anything like Dee could. So Dee tells her it's just a blur. It's running so fast, it's just a blur. But then it began to slow down as they were just sitting there. Joy then asks her to describe the blur, and she just says, I can't at the moment. Then she said that the blur started to slow down even more, and she could kind of tell what the blur was at this point. Joy asks her, what are you seeing? And she says, "It seems to be a child." So Joey's like, "Describe it to me." And she says, "The child has a really short haircut. It's like a buzz haircut." They at this point assume that the child is a boy. And then she says that the boy stops at the passenger side headlight. That is where Joy is sitting. At this point, Joy doesn't feel any bad energy from this child's spirit, although she can't see it. So she's just kind of sitting there calmly. That was for that moment. Now, as they're sitting there waiting for their exes to get back from the church, they start talking to one another. When all of a sudden, Dee grabs her head and she begins to whine. And that's when Joy's like, what's wrong? What's going on? And Dee can't tell her. She's in so much pain, she can't talk. So Joy asks louder, "What's wrong? What is wrong?" And that's when Dee says, "He's got an axe in his head. He's got an axe in his head." Joy hesitated before saying, "Who has an axe in their head?" After all, only the four of them were out there. And then Dee screams, "He's got a goddamn axe in his head!" So Joy's like, "What does this man look like? I can't see anything." She takes a breath before telling Joy, "There's a man dancing in the trees to the left of us." That's when Joy says, "What does he look like?" And Dee says, "He's an older black man with a straw hat and overalls on." That's when Joy says, "Why is he dancing through the trees?" And Dee says, "He wants to get to the church where our boyfriends are. So Joy says, you need to lean over and beep the horn so that J and R come out of the church. Joy really wants to leave at this point, but D keeps repeating the same thing. He has an axe in his head. He has an axe in his head. At this point, Joy is leaning across the seat, trying to get to the horn, but she can't move anything below her waist. At this point, Joy is freaking out a little bit, and she's trying to get D to honk the horn. D then tells her that that man is climbing through a window in the back of the church as their exes are climbing out the front of the church. Joy breathes a small sigh of relief, but it was short-lived. As their exes jump back into the car, Jay floors the car out of the lot onto a very curvy road until they reach a stop sign at the end of the road. As they're all just trying to calm down for just a moment, Dee says something. She says something's wrong. Something followed us. Joy then tells Jay to get them back to their house as fast as possible. But once they get back to the house, Dee tells them that she forgot to tell them that she saw somebody in the wood line at the bottom of the line next to the river. Joy looks at her shocked and is like, why are you just telling us about this now? Dee just says, I forgot until now. Joy just shakes her head and goes inside. Jay and R decide that they're going to raid Jay's collection of knives, daggers, and swords in order to arm themselves. They tell Dee and Joy to stay inside as they go check out the woods to make sure that they are safe. Once they are inside, Dee lights up her oven. It was the only source of heat that they had at the moment. And they sit down in front of the oven to wait for their spouses to get back. Joy was sitting on the floor in front of the oven, while Dee was sitting on a chair in front of the living room, in like the doorway of her living room. And they were just talking about everything that had just happened, while Joy continuously scanned her surroundings. She went from looking at Dee to looking at the oven to finally looking at the kitchen door. Dee and Jay's kitchen was half paned glass and half solid wood. They sat there for what felt like a very long time, when in reality it was probably only about 20 minutes. As they're talking, Jay and R come rushing through the door, asking the women if they're okay. Dee and Joy are both like, yeah, why? What's wrong now? Both Jay and R said that they had come through the trees at the bottom of the hill, and then they had seen a man looking through the window at the girls. Joy's like, I didn't see anybody looking at the window. I had been continuously looking at the window myself. They said that 1 minute the man had been there, and then they blinked and he was just gone. Joy then looks at all of them and says, I will not be going to sleep until it is light outside. And she kept that promise. This experience has been the most terrifying thing that has ever happened to her. She is 39 years old and has yet to experience anything that has scared her as much as this has. One good thing that came out of this is that thinking back on it as she was writing me this email, she thinks that her son, which she was 2 months pregnant with, months pregnant with at the time, protected her from what evil was surrounding them. She says that she will forever be grateful for her son being her protective angel, and that he has saved her life more than he will ever know. That's really sweet. I actually love that part. So what do you guys think? That one was pretty scary. It was scary. That one was scary, guys. What do you guys think? I mean, the fact that she kept screaming, he has an axe in his head, freaked me out so bad. At first I thought that she was talking about the child, which would have been awful, but like the man in the trees dancing with an axe in his head, that is effing terrifying. Like, I don't know how I would react to that. What do you guys think about this story? What do you think was going on here? And why do you, like, what part of it do you think was evil? Do you think that there was any good there? Because the child felt good, and then she said that she felt evil later. So I would love to know your thoughts, and so would Joy. So drop them in the comments, please. And with that being said, this is my favorite part, because now I'm going to do my shout outs. And my first shout out is going to Chevy Meg 8286. I love that you look forward to my stories every day. That seriously makes me so happy. I love it when people love to watch my work. You guys have no idea how much that means to me. It truly just like makes my entire life. I appreciate you supporting me more than you will ever know. Thank you so much. I love you for that. My second shout out is going to Christine Mendez. Thank you so much. Also, you told me that you look forward to watching my videos. Guys, it truly means so much to me. You have no idea. Like, building this account and like this little community, it means the world to me. And I hope you know that each and every one of you I appreciate so much. And thank you so much, girl, because your comment meant everything to me, and I appreciate your support and I love you for it. Thank you. And with that being said, my name is Kaisa and I tell true scary stories that you guys submit to me on here every other night. So if you like that, hit that subscribe button so that you can get notified when I tell true scary stories. And I need you to do 3 things for me. You already know what they are. The first one is send me your effing stories, YouTube. I still am not getting them. I'm getting them all from TT. Please, guys. And the second one is have a safe night. And what's the third one? Say it with me. Have a spooky night. Love you guys. See you in the next one.